Well, nice seeing y'all over here. Change is unavoidable. It is where we find the most discomfort in growing to our best and successful versions of ourselves. Like Earth spinning on its axis or the tectonic plates shifting in its own movement, things are always constantly changing. However, it is up to you if you decide to allow change to improve you for the better. Hi everyone, my name is Honey and it's your favorite social media literacy baddie, here to let you know about the power of pivoting and changing. Piggybacking off Rowena's size video, put it right here. The power of pivoting is a crucial point when it comes to changing yourself for the better. I've always told my friends this: you have to kill the old version of you in order for you to step into your growth and ideal version. So when it comes to changing, pivoted is needed. It's like a rebirth. So think of a phoenix constantly going through life and rebirth and death. Just like you're always gonna go through a cycle of change. So why start pivoting now, especially in the month of November? Life doesn't stop when you decide to hold yourself back. Since we're nearing the end of the year, it's more than ever to start the year off fresh with a strong stride. Just like in track or X, Y, and Z, you always want to end your race on a strong foot, or you want to begin your race on a strong foot as well. Oh, X, Y, and Z wasn't the year for me, so I'll try next year. Well, I didn't get to do X, Y, and Z, so maybe I'll try next time. Quite frankly, I hate hearing these two phrases or the variations of it because they're basically excuses of why you shouldn't try it. I say this because it's an excuse to not try. Let's be honest, if you wanted to, you would. Let's keep that same energy, y'all. If you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, you would have made the time for it. If you wanted to go to the gym, you would have made 30 minutes out of your day for that. If you wanted to learn a new skill, you would have dedicated 15 minutes per night, per day for that exact skill. Yes, life does happen, unfortunately. However, instead of letting life happen before you, how about we make the effort into becoming the baddie we've always dreamt of? If that doesn't help you, let's imagine this, y'all. For example, your enemies are several steps ahead of you because they decided to compete against you. They decide to put in the effort, while for you, you decide to hold back. You decide to be like, well, let's try next year. For them, they're like, no, we're gonna try right now. We're gonna prove X, Y, and Z. We're gonna prove you that we're better than you. And is that how you're gonna let yourself happen? Let's think like this. You have this friend, or maybe you, in your late 20s, and they wanna get into writing. However, they don't have strong writing skills. So instead, they spend time lamenting, doom scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, X, Ys, and Zs, thinking about the potential of them being able to do X, Y, and Z, but because of their lack of confidence in themselves, they never try. And because of that, she's always spending time wondering, am I too late for X, Y, and Z? So what can we do about this perspective? First things first, I'm gonna let you know to stop that bullshit. Let's be honest. Stop doing that. You need to pivot. P-I-V-O-T. Pivot. Life is never too late to pursue your goals in life. We always hear, well, maybe it's too late. Well, first of all, we have a lot of people in their older ages, dare I say some people in college, some people in careers, X, Y, and Z's, doing above the bare minimum, to be honest, and they're doing what they've always wanted to do. You've heard of the midlife crisis? Well, in this article by Sandra Subel, my aspiration in life is to be happy, in response to the question of what are your goals and aspirations in life? And in one of my favorite lines in the article, they mention, we all have different priorities and aspirations in life. Mine is to be happy. I'm not sure where I will end up. Perhaps one day you will end up ordering a V60 coffee from me somewhere in Berlin. Who knows? First off, you're never too late. Whether you're late to a party, to your goals, or even your own version of success. In the most infamous quote from the Princess Diaries, too, a queen is never late. Everyone is simply early. What does that mean? Life has a form of divine timing, whether you look towards a scientific approach where you have the religious and spiritual aspect, or whichever mysterious force you ask your questions to. So instead, choose the next step. Choose planning for tomorrow. Better yet, become multifaceted. Why does pivoting matter? It all matters because in the grand scheme of things, you're always changing, you're always pivoting. You're never the same person from last year, a week ago, yesterday, and even whether you like it or not. Trust me, if I can stay in my bubble, I would. However, though, I know that at the end of the day, I have to take my first leap of faith. Pivoting is like taking signs from the universe as a gift or a curse. I would say if you look back 2 to 4 or even a year ago at your past self, I'm pretty sure you would cringe, wondering, oh my God, why did I do that? Or why did I crush on X, Y, and Z? Or why did I even get that X, Y, and Z item? Using the same analogy as a friend aspiring to be a writer, maybe one day your friend won't see those skills of strong writership, but what she can do is she can try pivoting from the plan, deviating a little bit and working on their storytelling capabilities. Pivoting and deviating is supporting your goals, but never making you focus in and zero on one thing and making you have that tunnel vision. It's like realizing that in the past you had tunnel vision for X, Y, and Z, and reflecting back right now, you realized, oh wow, I zeroed in one singular thing. One thing I can promise you is that one day you'll feel like you're on top of the world, king of the world, queen of the world, a baddie on top of the world. But then the next, you're sandwiched in between the crevices of the deepest, darkest depths of the world. Maybe one day you'll want to go into acting and then slip away into a quiet jazz cafe. Life is never predictable. It really is up to you if you decide to change, pivot for a better version of your own ideal self. With all this being said, be ready to approach life with the willingness to learn, being able to grow, and having that growth mindset. Opening yourself to new things can always unlock doors and windows to success. It unlocks potential doors that were previously locked. How can we use pivoting as an opportunity to grow? Glad you asked, my dear. Pivoting and changing is simultaneously the same. When we pivot, we encounter different markets and different experiences. Pivoting means realizing that the past version of yourself no longer serves purpose. One thing I've been learning at my job, my current new job, is that there is always an opportunity to pivot into something new. For me, my one goal is to go into corporate marketing because that is where I got my degree in. While ideally, I'm in my current job right now to learn new skills and work on the inner workings of how the entire corporation works basically as a whole. In a way, I've deviated and pivoted from my ideal goal in order to support my future dreams. For my winter arc, my last 90 days, I'm working on understanding what it really means to be someone who graduated after college, what it really means to be an influencer, and what any necessity skills I need for this role in order to go into corporate. Some examples, and I will say this, some examples I could think of that did an amazing job pivoting is a couple of people or a couple of things. First one is Addison Rae. You already know who she is, but she first started off as a TikTok dancer. She made the quirky dances with the facial expressions as such. However, as she leveled up in her career space, she went from cringy TikToker to now relatable it girl influencer, basically, because she now makes music. I remember I know she made the song Diet Pepsi, and then on top of that, she collaborated with Charlie XCX. So Addison Rae just evolved from TikToker to it girl energy for real. And then the next one is Kim Kardashian. I say this because she first started off as Paris Hilton's friend slash assistant. And now she has her own multi-million company. And I know a lot of people will debate on me about this, whether it's successful, but I will say, if you had the ability to pivot from where you originally are, and you are still successful and you're still well known, I will say in some definition you are quote unquote successful. Next is Duolingo. I say this because first off, they start as a language learning app. Who would have thought that language learning app mascot, Duolingo, the owl, would be a relatable influencer, because now more than ever, it's known to be like this harsh, overseeing owl that will fact check you and or check up on you with a baseball bat, making sure you're doing your Spanish lessons or language lessons. I think that's a little crazy, but they pivoted from something educational to something that's very relatable. Next is Ember Chamberlain. I will say this because she really went from, realistic YouTubers who made like the morning routines that tapped into, my generation, Gen Z, or I would say millennials, because I'm on that precipice of those two. And came out to be a fashion interviewer, and she came from the background of being a YouTuber who made those morning routines and those funny, relatable, quirky videos. And another one is Nutter Butter. I will say this because it first started off as a candy company. Have you seen its Instagram? Or no, I mean not Instagram. Have you seen its TikTok? Their TikTok marketing is crazy beyond it's like ARG basically, but basically it's such a interesting marketing technique. That's what I will say before they hold me at gunpoint. But with that being said, what I'm trying to say from these 5 figures or these 5 case studies is that however you first start off into your career, whether you don't want to be an influencer or you don't want to be a writer, but you want to be a writer, or how you get there, it doesn't matter of the destination. What matters is the journey of it. What matters is that you learn and you allow yourself to grow into new opportunities, because everything has its time and place. Believe in the divine timing, because things will happen for you. Because if someone else could do it, who says you can't as well? You have that potential, but it's up to you to be able to be open to learning new things in order for you to elevate yourself into the best, baddest, most elevated version of yourself. So if you needed a sign that you need to lock in and pivot or work on yourself for at least 90 days, or starting and then ending the year strong and starting the new year fresh, let this be your sign, y'all. You need to lock in, because your past self would thank you for you finally stepping into who you need to be, for you to finally get into the fact that you could be that bitch until you take that first step. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's more of on the explanation side, but I really hope you enjoyed it. It's a topic I like talking about. I love the idea that people always have the ability to learn and change as a person, because life life is not a singular point. A journey is not a straight line. A journey is, sometimes you're going to experience downhills, uphills. Sometimes your own value would go appreciate, and sometimes it will depreciate. But it is up to you in order for you to finally lock in. With that being said, I will end this video with a final message that I hope you stay safe, drink a lot of water, and I will see you into the next video. Bye, baddies. Mwah, 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 mwah.